I want to hear your thoughts on this because I'm struggling to find the common sense. Yesterday, Michigan signed a new House bill into law. The new law allows people to feed wildlife, including deer, near their homes under certain conditions. The feed has to be within 300 feet of a residence. It's limited to less than 2 gallons. And there are still exceptions tied to disease control agreements with the USDA. But here's what hasn't changed. If you're a hunter, deer baiting during hunting season is still heavily restricted under separate regulations. Now, before anyone jumps into the comments, let me be clear. I'm not saying chronic wasting disease isn't real. CWD is a serious disease, and nobody wants to see Michigan's deer herd suffer. What I'm questioning is the consistency. For years, hunters have been told that baiting is prohibited because concentrating deer around a pile of food increases the risk of spreading diseases like CWD. That's been the justification. So here's my question. If concentrating deer around a pile of feed is dangerous in the woods during hunting season, why is concentrating deer around a pile of feed in someone's backyard considered acceptable? The deer don't know whether they're standing behind a house or in the middle of state land. They don't care about property lines. If 10 deer are eating from the same pile of corn, they're still nose to nose. They're still leaving saliva. They're still leaving bodily fluids. They're still interacting exactly the same way. The biology doesn't change because someone has a mailbox at the end of the driveway. As a hunter, that's where I think this law loses credibility. If the state truly believes baiting spreads disease, then why create an exception that allows feeding under another name? And if backyard feeding can be done safely, then maybe it's time to have an honest conversation about whether regulated hunting baiting deserves another look. I'm all for science-based wildlife management, but science has to be consistent. It can't change depending on whether someone is watching deer from their kitchen window or from a tree stand. I'd love to hear from hunters, biologists, and anyone who supports this law. What am I missing? Does this make sense to you, or does it seem like we're applying two completely different standards to the same behavior?